Hello everyone and welcome back. Now in today's video, we will dive into Terraform function, the backbone of this open source infrastructure as code tool, offering users built-in operators to efficiently manage and transform data in the configuration files. So these are the table of contents which we are going to learn. So let's start. What is Terraform? It is an open source infrastructure as code software tool where you define and create resources using providers in the declarative configuration language, example JSON. So with Terraform, you can package and reuse the code in the form of modules. So it supports a number of cloud infrastructure providers such as Amazon Web Service, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform, etc. So what are Terraform functions? So Terraform functions are built-in reusable code blocks that perform specific tasks within Terraform configuration. So they make your code more dynamic and ensure your configuration is dry. Functions allow you to perform various operations such as converting expression to different data types, calculating length, and building complex variables. So the Terraform language includes a number of built-in functions that you can use and transform the and combine value. So now let us understand the general syntax of the function. Call is a function name. Then it is followed by a comma separated arguments in parentheses. So now we will refer the documentation of Terraform where you can see the functions. So as here you can see, the Terraform language includes a number of built-in functions that call within the expression to transform and combine values. So here is the general syntax. So as you can see, the function name is max, and within the parentheses, you can see the argument. So for example, let us take this function as max. And if you run this command in your Terraform console, it will give the maximum value between the number. So the maximum value is 12. So it will throw the 12 number value. So this would basically the function name. And if you look at this another example, here you can see max 5129. So here after entering, you can see that maximum number is 12. So this was the simple function that is available in the Terraform. So let us try this. So just copy the max function with the respective argument and open the integrated terminal and just type here Terraform console. So we need to initialize first Terraform init. So now we will try. Just type Terraform console. Now just type the function name followed by the arguments and enter the number which is 5, 12 and 7. Just assume you can enter your number and just enter it. So here you can see the maximum value between these three numbers is 12. So this was just an example. Now we will move forward. So there are multiple categories of Terraform function. So first is string function. So it will perform operation on the textual data. So here you can see in the official website there are number of types of functions. So here, if you click on string function, there are subtypes of the string function. So for example, if you use lower or upper, then it will convert your text into uppercase, and for lower, it will convert your case into lowercase. So here you can see the example for lower. So let us try this. So this is for string function. So here, as you can see, lower followed by the parenthesis, and in this we have entered the string. So it is called as a string function, and the string function type is lower. So as we enter, you can see the text is automatically converted into lowercase by using the lower function. So these are the types of string function. Here you can see you can also use split, which will split your string. Here, if you come down, here you can see the upper function, which is used to convert the string into uppercase. Next is the numeric function, so which will operate on numerical value. So it will include functions like minimum and maximum for finding minimum and maximum value. So if you go in the official website in numeric function, here you can see under overview, these are the types of numeric functions. So we have tried for maximum value. Now we will try it for minimum. So now we will try this in a Terraform function. Just type minimum with parentheses and the arguments. So it will throw the minimum value, which is 5. So these are the type of numeric function. Now next is collection function. So it will manage the list and maps efficiently. So functions like length determine the list size while concat combines the list. So in the official website, you can see the collection function. And if you go on the concat, which will add the to list, which is basically you can see A and an empty string, and the another is B and C. So this was the example for collection function. Date and time function. So it will handle timestamp for formatting and manipulation. So functions like format date enhance the management of temporal data. So as you can see, the function is date and time function. So the subtype of format date, for example, as format date. So it will specify the timestamp into a different time format if we use the format date function. So it is followed by the parenthesis consist of spec and timestamp. So for example, here you can see there are different types of form date such as DDMMYY, which is date, month, and year, and hours, minutes. So if you copy this, it will throw the date, the month, and the time. So let us try this in a Terraform console. So if you enter this, so it will give the specify date and month and year and time also. So this was the example for date and time function. Next function is crypto and hash function. So it will enable cryptographic operation and hash calculation, essential for securing sensitive information and ensuring data integrity. So here you can also see crypto and hash functions. So if you click on this, it will give an example. Next is file system function. So basically it is used to interact with files and directories. So functions like file and file exist streamline local resource management. So here you can see the file system function. So the example of file system function is ABS path. So it will take a string containing a file system path and it will convert into the absolute path. So that if the path is not absolute, it will join with current working directory. So here you can see the example and you can try it in your Terraform console. Next is IP network function. So it will facilitate, manipulate, and calculation of IP address and subnet. So functions like CIDR subnet support dynamic network configuration. So here you can see IP network function and its type. So here you can see the CIDR host calculates a full host IP address. So this is basically the subtype of the IP address function. So it will calculate a full host IP address for a given host number within a given IP network. So below you can find the examples and you can try. Next is encoding function. So it will transfer the data between encoding formats, which include functions like base 64 encode for interoperability task. So here you can see encoding functions in the official website and you can see the type, which is base 64 decode function. So it will take a string containing base 64 character sequence and it will return the original string. So here you can find the example. So let's try this. So if you enter the string, it will give hello world. Next is type conversion function. So if you want to convert different data types seamlessly, we can use type conversion function. So functions like toSet, toList enhance adaptability in resource attribute handling. So here in the official website, you can see the type conversion and the first function, which is can, which will evaluate the given expression and return a boolean value indicator whether the expression produced a result without any errors. So here you can see the examples is local foo and the other example. So this is the table summarizing the Terraform function which we can understand easily. So here you can see the function type is string, collection, encoding, which we have seen. So total there are 9 categories of Terraform functions. And I have also mentioned here description. So it will easy to understand for you. So now let us understand the best practice for using Terraform function. So we should read the documentation as we have done earlier. So you can refer the site name which I have mentioned in this article below. So familiarize yourself with the official Terraform documentation to understand the full range of available function and the usage. Modularity. So leverage functions to create modular, reusable code. So this will help maintain a clean and organized data. Testing. So test your Terraform configuration thoroughly, especially when you use complex functions. So this will ensure your infrastructure is defined as expected. So version compatibility. So be aware of Terraform version compatibility when using function, as update may introduce new functions or changes to existing ones. So we will see the benefits and potential drawbacks after we perform our practical. So as you can see, I have typed the code in Terraform console. So the Terraform console is an interactive command line environment provided by Terraform that will allow users to evaluate expression and interact with Terraform configuration in real time. So it's convenient tool for testing and experimenting with Terraform language construct, functions and expression. So you can try out the functions in the Terraform console. So for example, if you type here 5 plus 3, it will give the answer, which is 8, and followed by another example. You can try this in the Terraform console. So now we will understand the functions practically, and we are currently using functions like format date, timestamp, file function, and lookup function, element function, and output block. So we will create a EC2 instance by using functions and also create a key pair. So now let's understand this code and how we can use Terraform functions while creating a Amazon EC2 instance. So let's move on to our editor. So I am using Visual Studio Code as my editor. So if you press Ctrl plus C, you will back in the terminal. So this is the code. So now we will break down this code. So as you can see, we are currently using provider, which is AWS, followed by the region, which I have set to where.region. So I have created a variable called as region, and in that I have assigned the region value, which is set to default, which is AP South 1, which is Mumbai. And here you can see I have used the function in the locals. But first, let's try to understand the simple code of EC2 instance. Now here you can see the resource which we are going to create is AWS instance, and the name is app-dev. So in AMI, I have used the lookup function. So where I have mentioned the variable dot AMI and variable dot region. So above here you can see variable dot AMI, which I have used in map function. So this will map the default regions. So for example, if I am currently set to AP South 1, then it will automatically create an server followed by the default ID, so which is AP South 1. And if the default region is set to US East 1, then it will follow this AMI ID according to the region. So this AMI ID, you can get it from the AWS console. So for example, I will show you. So this is my console, and if you click on EC2 instance, if you click on launch instance, here you can see I am currently in using region AP South 1, and if you click in the US West 1 and US East 1, then you can simply select your Ubuntu. As I am currently using Ubuntu, so here you can find the AMI ID. So these are the respective AMI ID for the respective region. So here I have used the map function. Now next I have created, now we will understand the locals block, where so I am currently using the local variable named as time. So which is defined using the format date function. So as you can see, we have seen previously as format date function. So if you come to the official website and select the date and time function, you can see the syntax for the format date. And in example, there are multiple types of format date function syntax. So I am currently using the first syntax. So here you can see the in lookup local variable. I have set the function name as format date followed by the date, month and year and the timestamp. So before that, we have looked into lookup. So lookup is a function name. Here you can find in the collection function, and here you can see the syntax of lookup. So the syntax of lookup is followed by the map, which we have seen. We have used map, which is AMI ID, and next we have used the key. So here you can see key means the value of the AMI ID, and and at the last we have mentioned the var.region, which is set to default. As we have seen here, the default is AP South 1, which is Mumbai region we are currently using. So here you can see the default. So the default parameter is actually optional. So here you can see the example of lookup. So now we will try this example so we can better understand. So just type here Terraform console and paste it. So as you can see, the lookup function where A is set to AY, B is set to B, and then A and what. So now if you enter, you can see AY is present. And if you enter, we will just copy this. I will show you another example. So now if you enter, so here you can see if I enter A name, then as A is equal to AY, which is throwing the value as AY. And if I enter in place of A the C, so here you can see as C we have not specified any string, so it will throw the value as what. So which is set to default. So the what is set to default. As here you cannot see that C is not having any string. So this is the use of lookup function. So here you can visit the official website and try the example. So next we will create an resource of AWS key pair. So here we are using currently in public key. Here you can see file, which is followed by the path module and the three tier one.pub key. So here the file is the function name. So as you can see, so here if you visit the official website, so here if you click on file system function, and in that the subtype is file function. So the syntax is simple. You just need to mention the path here. So here if we create an AWS key pair which is named as login key, and the public key is set to file, and the file consists of argument which is the path of that key. So the three tier one.pub key, so the content will be copied to the login key. So the content present in the three tier will be copied in the login. So here I have made, you can see the three tier one key, which is the public key. So the content will be copied in the login. So here down, as you can see, the instance type is set to t2.micro. And here, as you can see, count is set to 2. So basically, it will create 2 EC2 instance. Now next function we are currently using is element. So here you can see var.tags and count.index. So count.index will basically create a instance having the, here you can see, which is set to 2, and the var.tag will be creating, here you can see we have created a variable dot tags which we have set to default as first EC2. So the name of the first EC2 instance created, which is first EC2, and respectively for the second EC2 instance. So here you can see we have using the type is equal to list, where we can define in any number of instances we can define. So for example, this is first, second, and we can also mention your third. So if you want to create a 3 EC2 instance, just type here 3 in the count number. So now we will check the function in the official documentary. So here you can see the collection function and the element function, which is present in the collection function. So here you can see the element will retrieve a single element from the list. So as you can see, this is the basic syntax, where in parentheses you need to mention the list and the index. So as you can see, the count index is the index name which is set to 2. So it will create an 2 EC2 instance, and the var dot tags will be applied to that 2 EC2 instance followed by the name, which is first EC2 and second EC2 instance. So these were the example, and at last we are creating an output and using the functions timestamp, and the value is, we have mentioned the value is timestamp, so it will give our latest time and date, month and year as well. So now let us try this. So now we will deploy this configuration in AWS. So it will create a resource called as EC2 instance. So just press Ctrl+6, Ctrl+C, then type Terraform plan command. So here you can see 3 to add, 0 to change, and 0 to destroy. So here you can see the public key content we can see. And the resource which we are going to create is AWS instance 1, which is named as first EC2, second instance app app.dev1 will be created second, and the key pair. And in output, we can get output called as timestamp, which is followed by the date, month, and year. So now we will simply type Terraform apply command to apply a configuration or to create a resource in AWS. So just type yes to apply a configuration. So as you can see, 3 resources are added successfully, and it has given the output as 20th December 2023, which is the today's date. So now we will check this in a AWS console. So just visit your AWS console. Just click on EC2, and in EC2, click on instance running. So here you can see the name as first EC2 and second EC2 instance. And if you click on this, you can get the details of that instance. So we have successfully used the function. So here you can see the functions used in code is timestamp function, formatted function, file function, and lookup function, element function, as well as output block. Here we have mentioned the function as timestamp. So we will conclude it for today. So Terraform's built-in function provide a powerful and flexible way to enhance your infrastructure provisioning code. So this function will allow you to perform calculation, manipulate data, and dynamically generate configuration values within your Terraform code. With many functions available, you can easily tailor your infrastructure provisioning process to meet your needs. So you can use Terraform function as per your requirement. So here you can see the benefits as well as potential drawbacks of using Terraform function. So you can refer this article. So thank you for watching my video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more content. So feel free to leave your thoughts or suggestions in the comments below. So see you in the next video. Thank you. And here you can see the link of the official website where you can study about Terraform function. So thank you.